Hello, Class 5B. This is Mrs. Barrera speaking. I know that a lot of you have questions about the homework, so this is why I'm making this video for you. So I actually created a checklist for you, and I really hope that this checklist helps you with the homework assignment that I gave you this afternoon. So if you look at the checklist, there are 4 steps. Step 1, Step 2, Step 3, and Step 4. I will be using this today to model how I want you to show your work. Okay, so let's begin with an example from your math book. I want to focus on number 9 from page 405, lesson 5 in your math books. Again, this will be number 9 from page 405 in your math books. And if we look at the example, they gave us 3 and 2400ths times 6 and 4/10. This is what we're going to be solving today. However, we're going to be using our checklist to solve this math problem. So if we look at step number 1, it says line up the numbers from right to left, not the decimals. Again, it says line up the numbers from right to left, not the decimals. So that's the first thing we're going to be doing with this math problem. The first thing I'm going to do is ignore the decimal points. I am only going to be lining up the numbers from right to left. So let's go ahead and write 3.24 as a regular number without the decimal point. And if we write 324 as a regular number, this is what it will look like. 324. Next, I'm going to go ahead and take the 6.4 and write it as a regular number without the decimal point by lining up the digits from right to left. So if I write 64, the 4 would go underneath the 4 and the 6 would go underneath the 2. That's how it will look. Next, it says here, according to step number 2, multiply the factors. Again, it says multiply the factors. What does that mean, Mrs. Barrera? Well, that means that I need to multiply the numbers the regular way that I learned in 4th grade, which is by taking each number and using the place value to solve. So I am going to start with the ones place. This is the ones place, and I'm going to start multiplying 4 times 4. What is 4 times 4? Well, that equals 16. So I'm going to write 6 here, carry over the 1 to the to the tens place. Next, I'm going to go over to the tens place and multiply the 4 times the 2 plus the 1. What is 4 times 2? That equals 8 plus 1, that equals 9. Next, we're going over to the hundreds place. So I'm going to go ahead and carry over the 4 to the 3 and multiply 4 times 3. What is 4 times 3? Well, that equals 12. There's nothing on top, so I just write down 12. And I'm done with the 4. I am done using it with the ones place, the tens place, and the hundreds place. So now that I'm done with the 4, I am going to go ahead and draw a black hole, just how we talked about in class, and we call this a placeholder. Why do we do this? Because now we're moving on to the 6. And so this tells me that I'm ready for the next digit here, and this will be my second row. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's multiply the 6, and let's go back to the ones place. So same thing, we're going to start with the 4 here. What is 6 times 4? Well, that equals 24. Carry over a 2 on the tens place. And so now I'm going to multiply 6 times 2 plus 2. That equals 14, because 6 times 2 is 12 plus 2 is 14. So I carry over the 1 to the next place value, and I do the same thing. 6 times 3 equals 18, plus 1 equals 19. So I write that down. Now the question is, do I keep multiplying, Mrs. Barrera? The answer is no, because there is nothing next to the 6 on the left side. We are done. If there would have been a number here, then guess what? I would have drawn the same black hole here, but added another black hole here to start the third row for the next number. But since there's nothing, I am going to go ahead and add. Okay? 6 plus 0, 6. 9 plus 4, 13. Carry over 1. 2 plus 4 equals 6 plus 1, 7. 1 plus 9 equals 10. Carry over 1. And 1 plus 1 equals 2. I am done. This is my product. Last but not least, it says here that on step 3, you need to count the number of digits after the decimal in the question. So that's exactly what I need to do next. I need to count the number of digits after the decimal in the question. So if I go back to the question here, the original math problem, and I count the spaces after the decimal point, I will find out that there are 2 spaces here and there is 1 space here. So if I count 2 spaces here and I count 1 space here, that's a total of how many spaces? That's right, it's 3 spaces. So that's how many times I will move the decimal point starting from the right side to go ahead and place it in my answer. So that's step number 4. Starting at right, count the same number of digits to go after the decimal in the answer. So let's go ahead and do that. From the right side, I'm going to count 1, 2, and 3 spaces. So that means that this is where the decimal point will be placed. And that's how you solve a multiplication problem with decimals.